Alright, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? GIGeoGamer here, bringing you a brand new StarCraft II cast today on Acolyte LE. Spawning in the bottom left with the GLHF being sent out, it is our Purple Terran playing for Insight Gaming, Magi. And in the top right, playing with the blue Zerg pieces, doing a double extractor trick. Playing for Team Ur, it is Dr. Euclidean? I don't know. Double extractor trick. Very interesting. Down in the bottom left, an early gas being taken for our Terran player. Kinda typical. A forward expand being sent out for our Zerg, which is very, very common. You don't want to take your pocket expansion as a Zerg, especially versus a Terran where it can easily be dropped. Our Zerg will be able to go ahead and save this for later, later necessary minerals. SCV being sent out across the map. Let's see what it does. If it's just a scout or what. It will be seen by this overlord just barely if he was watching his minimap. So is this going to be something cheeky? Or is this just a scout? Okay, it's definitely spotted by now. It is on attack move, which is interesting. So it will go ahead and attack that hatchery. That's interesting. I don't know why you would send it out on attack move. Down here, our secondary base being taken for the Terran, orbital commands being morphed in, and a Reaper in production as well. The drone transfer. Okay, interesting. Our Zerg made extra drones and no lings. So he does have 4 in production right now, as well as his 2 queens, but his bases are each at half saturation, which means he can set the rally of this base to there, and the rally of this base to there, which means that the drone production will actually be more efficient. They won't have to walk as far. SCV returning home as the Reaper heads out. Let's see if this can go ahead and get any damage done. Will it? Overlord does see it. 8 lings out on the map. That's a lot of unnecessary lings. The queens are out as well. This Reaper should not be able to do anything. Time will indeed tell. It does get into the drone line in the main. No lings are here. He's not focusing the weak drone. There we go. 1 drone does go down, and this Reaper dodges the lings, but it will definitely die to this queen. Oh man, 2 HP. 2 freaking HP. That's insane. Back home in the Terran base, we have 2 barracks up and a factory finishing right now, and a tech lab being dropped on this barracks. A 3rd barracks being made with no starport, which is interesting. He still has not saturated this gas. SCV production seems to be screaming to a halt. He is producing Whittle mines, which is smart. Our Zerg is going Ling Bane. So it is definitely smart to go Whittle mines versus that, as they can really destroy an entire army in just 1 explosion. And again, he made a lot of lings. Is he trying to Bane bust? I don't think so, since he's morphing them back here. 3 Marines will not get this Overlord. 5 HP. Man, this game is just killing me. Alright, finally, some SCV production being started up, as well as a starport right here. So, 3 barracks on essentially 1 base saturation. He's really going all in, but he hasn't built a reactor on either of these barracks. He does have a reactor coming out on this factory, so he is going to be going for Whittle mine production for a while. Zerg up here is saturating the 3rd base and making the standard 4-minute spores that a Zerg player should always make, in my personal opinion. Terran just saturating his natural. Stems halfway to being completed. A supply block has to drop supply. What a waste of energy, although when I play Terran, I do that a lot. Ooh, interesting. He actually swapped the factory and the starport, so now he has 2 medivacs in production. So he's going to go for a drop. Where did that Widow Mine go? Alright, it's burrowed out here. This is a really smart move because if the Zerg sends Lings down to scout or Banelings to blow up, you know, to Bane bust, then this Widow Mine will be able to go ahead and kill all of those all at once. 18 Lings in production for our Zerg player back home, as well as Baneling speed, 2 Banelings being morphed, and a Hydra Den in production. Now down here we have 2 medivacs loaded up, a little bit of lag right there. 2 medivacs loaded up, one of them is missing 3 Marines. That is okay though, of course. Now, did that Overlord see this? I think he may have, I'm not sure. Extra Queens in production, no creep has been spread. Those bases are not connected. Hydras are in production, as well as some Overlords, as both players, or at least the Zerg is supply blocked right now. More Widow Mines in production behind this, plus 1 attack on the way. An infestation pit being produced. Now these Marines do have stim and will be able to kill a lot of Zerglings. Not exactly the best positioning for them, but still they will kill all those Zerglings and snipe the Banelings. This is looking rather scary for our Zerg player. He needs to snipe that Spore though, as that is going to kill his medivacs. Kill it. There you go. And now the Hydra. Now the thing about Hydras is their DPS is insane, right? And so if he had a clump of Hydras, he could clean this up. But they are really, really squishy units. Oh, stop focusing the hatchery, shoot the units. Alright, there we go. He is gonna, this drop will get cleaned up. Will he pick up and fly away? He does. He's gonna lose that. Oh my god. 1 HP. Some tanks in production now. This Widow Mine just chilling, but some tanks in production for the Hydras. Now, let's go ahead and look. Shift L. 7 drones went down, and 1 queen and some units. 7 drones is not terrible. It's not great, but it is not terrible. Now he's going to clean up these Overlords. No more vision. 7 Banelings being morphed back home. That's a good amount of Hydras. That is 3, 6, that's like 10 Hydras. And the Terran is moving out with 1 siege tank and 1 Widow Mine, as well as some Marines and a bunch of medivacs. Now, Zerg player is also taking an aggressive position, so I will be very interested to see how this battle goes down. This Widow Mine is going to run up and get suicided, unless these medivacs see it in time. Does he pull back? Alright, he does. Oh, he's going to lose the medivacs too! That medivac still has 1 HP. Look at that, that literally looks like it has 0 health. Don't load into that one. Alright, he scans the Zerg base, sees the army. Now, interesting mine placement. You should move that up to like right here, and then try and pull him back over it. Now, production for both players still decent. A 4th being taken for our Zerg. Still, alright, a 3rd CC is almost complete for Terran. He will be able to just float that over. Now he's making some Marauders to tank the Baneling hits. And now both players are just making units right now. There is where is his hive? Alright, his hive is complete. And another drop in the 3rd. Zerg pulls back a few bits of army. Now these Lings will all die if you focus. Oh, he gets the hatchery and gets out. Nice. Okay. That's worth, because this base still has a lot of mining potential, and he gets out before the Hydras can get there. He does have his army split back here, as well as his tank sieged up in his mine, burrowed. He needs to float this CC over. And, ooh, this medivac's playing with fire. This medivac's playing with fire. And it will go down, okay. He needs to float this CC over and get his 3rd in production. Although the Zerg, his drone count is pretty darn weak. 45 compared to 36 of the Terran. That is not good. What is this base doing? There's no burrowed Ling here, is there? No. What is that base doing? That's off-centered, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that can move over more. Interesting. Either way, the Zerg army is reaching a very formidable number. The Terran is unsieging everything and is moving down, maybe to attack this base. He did go ahead and see the creep. Oh, he did see the base already as well. So will he go ahead and attack the base? A lot of Marines and some Marauders coming in to reinforce. Not very many Medivacs with this army. But still, he does go ahead and float this base over, morphs it into an orbital. Nice. Combat shield just now starting. That's pretty darn late. Especially against a Zerg player who has Banelings and Hydras, which are insane DPS. This mine did just go ahead and shoot, I'm assuming at an Overlord, maybe a Ling. And 3 more siege tanks roll up. That's pretty good. 2 Ultras in production for our Zerg player. Our Terran does have 2 Libs, which should be able to do some good DPS. The Marines stim in, they snipe the Queen. Okay, and the Zerg is going to engage. The tanks melt those Lings. Now, what does the Zerg do here? You need to split. Magi, you need to split. These Libs and tanks are keeping the Terran back. A good fungal growth, that's a lot of dead Marines. But the army supply is still very even. These tanks and Libs are going to melt all those Hydras. Okay. That one Ultra is going to... Oh man, look at the damage put out by these Liberators. Now, fun fact, a 3-3 Liberator does more damage than a Siege Tank in a single target. A Siege Tank does have a splash, but a Liberator does do more damage, which is why they are so effective against Ultralisks. Now, these Ultras are 1-1, whereas all of these mechanical and air units are 0-0. But the bio is also on 1-1, almost 2-1. Chitinous planing en route, as well as cracklings, or the, I can't remember what this upgrade is called. Adrenal glands, maybe? We should see that in just a minute. Yep, adrenal glands finishing up in 12 seconds. Another drop on this third. Now, let's go ahead and have a look here. Only 15 drones have gone down. And 60 Marines, that's pretty steep. Terran does go ahead and scan. I guess I could use their names. The Docks army. These Marines are all... I think 1 died. 2 died. 1 and 4 got picked up. Now, let's have a look at the income tab. The Zerg has way more income than the Terran right now. Although, the Magi is starting to saturate his bases now. He needs to fly his main out to another base. And build another one probably, because he is way oversaturated. A fight is going down. His Liberators seem to have all died, maybe getting a bit too aggressive, but these Siege Tanks just melt Hydras. They just melt Hydras. And the surrounding Marines coming up the other side, he will go ahead and cancel this base, snipe all these little broodlings. Okay, this is looking rather scary. It is going to scan and go ahead and clean up any visible creep, which was only 1 tumor, but still. This is not looking too good for our Zerg player. He's taking a lot of damage, and his army supply just isn't there. 86 to 36. He still has a better drone count, but at what cost? Man. Constant reinforcements for Magi flooding in across the map. He will scan and clean up that creep. These Banelings... Oh! The missed micro there. But, again, the Zerg's army just isn't enough. These tanks should be on sieging and moving in. These Marines pushing in. The Medivacs healing them as they go. And Zerg is trying to get reinforcements out. 2 Ultras will pop out any minute now. But a 3rd one in production, as well as 2 Hydras. The tanks are moving up. And the blue Zerg goes ahead and calls GG. Now, I actually really kind of enjoyed that game, because in most games, if you guys don't know, Magi tends to go pretty cheesy. And yeah, that was a really well fought game. Both players fought pretty decent, and yeah, it was a pretty good game. Guys, if you did enjoy, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe down below, and as always, if you did enjoy, oh wait, check out Magi's channel. I'll try and remember to put it in the description. And guys, if you did enjoy, I will definitely catch you in the next one.